So the debate had a few big moments, a few really important moments. What I'm about to play is one of them. So this is Trump saying that with mail-in ballots that it's going to be rigged. And he's saying that if it's rigged, he won't be able to accept the results. See for yourself.
Okay, solicited is okay. You're soliciting, you're asking, they send it back, you send it back. I did that. If you have an unsolicited, they're sending millions of ballots all over the country. There's fraud. They found them in creeks. They found some with the name Trump, just happened to have the name Trump just the other day in a waste paper basket. They're being sent all over the place. They sent 2 in a Democrat area. They sent out 1,000 ballots. Everybody got 2 ballots. This is going to be a fraud like you've never seen. The other thing, it's nice on November 3rd, you're watching and you see who won the election. And I think we're going to do well because people are really happy with the job we've done. But you know what? We won't know. We might not know for months because these ballots are going to be all over. Take a look at what happened in Manhattan. Take a look at what happened in New Jersey. Take a look at what happened in Virginia and other places. They're not losing 2%, 1%, which, by the way, is too much. An election could be won or lost with that. They're losing 30 and 40%. It's a fraud, and it's a shame.
What he's saying is unsubstantiated. There's not evidence that there is fraud with mail-in voting. In the debates, it's brought up that there have been areas where they've been doing mail-in voting for more than a decade. Utah is a very conservative state, and it's been doing mail-in voting for a while now, and Republicans are still winning. There's no evidence that there is massive fraud with it. But he's setting up the scenario so that in November, he can say, even if he loses, he can say it is rigged, and he can try to stay in power regardless of what happens. This is something that authoritarians sort of do. They will often rig elections. Or if they were to lose, then they'll say, no, it was rigged, I actually won. And that's something that Biden could have called him out on. He did good at calling him out on some ideas, but he could have called him out on that idea and said, no, he's just trying to set it up so that he can stay in power regardless. He's going to claim victory on November 3rd, and then that way it's going to be harder for Democrats or for moderates to then try to say, no, actually Biden won as they finish counting the votes November 8th, November 9th. It's going to be harder for them to say, no, he didn't win if he's already declared victory. His base will be ready for that. Another point in the debate that was interesting is when Biden called Trump a clown, and there was another point where he told him to shut up. We'll go ahead and watch that in a minute. But that actually seems pretty effective when going against a loudmouth like Trump. Hillary was a little bit more timid, but honestly, in her defense, if she would have been telling him to shut up and been calling him a clown, people would have said that she was a bitch for it. So something that Biden did, he was a little bit more aggressive than maybe others who have debated Trump. Even some of the Republicans, Rubio and Ted Cruz, they might have been tiptoeing a little bit. They weren't calling him a clown up on the stage the way that Biden was tonight. But let's check this out.
It will
Not what your party says, by the way.
It will end private insurance and create a government takeover of health care.
It does not. It's only for those people who are so poor they qualify for Medicaid. They can get that free in most states, except governors who want to deny people who are poor Medicaid. Anyone who qualifies for Medicaid would automatically be enrolled in the public option. The vast majority of the American people would still not be in that option, number one.
Joe, you agreed with Bernie Sanders, who's far left, on the manifesto, we call it. And that gives you socialized medicine.
Look, hey,
Are you saying
I'm not
you
going
didn't
to
agree?
listen to him. The fact of the matter is, I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm here standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left 2 days early. You would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to
on
do
Super
is hurt.
Tuesday. You got very lucky.
Here's the deal. I got very lucky. I'm going to get very lucky tonight as well. And tonight I'm going to make sure, because here's the deal. Here's the deal. The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just
agree.
want to make sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be surprised.
You picked
You'd be surprised.
the
Go ahead,
wrong
Joe.
guy,
Talk,
the wrong
talk,
night
Joe.
at the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders to the
The
manifesto.
whole idea.
Let him.
There is no manifesto, number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You just lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan
Folks,
that's absolutely
folks,
agreed
do you have
to,
any
and under that
idea
plan,
what
you have
this clown's
socialized,
doing?
They call it
Mr.
Do you have any
President.
idea?
socialized medicine.
Mr.
Well, I
President.
tell you what, he is not for any help for people needing health care because he in fact already has cost 10 million people their health care that they had from their employers because of his recession. Number one. Number two, there are 20 million people getting health care through Obamacare now that he wants to take it away. He won't ever look you in the eye and say that's what he wants to do. Take it away.
No, I want to give them better health care at a much lower price because
and by the way,
Obamacare
he doesn't
is
know
no
how.
good.
He doesn't know how
I've
to do
already
that.
fixed it.
He has never
I've
offered
already
a
fixed
plan.
it to an extent.
He has never done a
as
single
you might
thing.
know, but probably don't.
Gentlemen, you realize if you're both speaking at the same time,
and it's too expensive.
let the president go ahead, sir.
Obamacare is no good. We made it better, and I had a choice to make very early on. We took away the individual mandate. We guarantee pre-existing conditions, but took away the individual mandate. Listen, this is the way it is, and that.
So this was definitely a strategy from the Trump team to try to link Biden to socialism, even though Biden is definitely a capitalist. There are a lot of Americans that are wary of the idea of socialism, so they were just trying to pound that message as much as they could, linking Biden to the Green New Deal, linking him to Bernie Sanders, to try to sway moderate voters against him. Now, Biden calls Trump a clown at one point, which a lot of people actually like that, and they'd agree Trump is a clown, and it's good to go after him aggressively in that manner. When Trump brings up the idea of Biden being at the bottom of his class, this is where Biden would do well to bring up the fact that Michael Cohen testified that he was going to Trump's college and to his high school and threatening them to not release his transcripts. The fact that Trump was probably getting into University of Pennsylvania because of the money that his father had, highlighting that Biden's parents weren't wealthy and he climbed to his position just through his own effort, where Trump inherited around $400 million total. So a lot of people would say that Biden did all right tonight. Again, he wasn't my first candidate. I consider myself pretty moderate. I liked Andrew Yang pretty well, but we definitely want Biden in there more than Trump, because at least our institutions will do better. More Americans will have faith in our institutions. Trump does everything he can to weaken faith in the FBI, the CIA. He said that he had no reason to not believe Putin, which was when these agencies, the FBI and CIA, had talked about Putin meddling in our elections and Putin meddling in democracy. So we basically sided with the dictator over our intelligence agencies. He, in the Woodward book that just came out, he covered for the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia in murdering Jamal Khashoggi. Trump is friends with authoritarians. He's joked about staying in for a third term, and people can say, oh, he was just joking, don't take him serious. He's testing the waters. He really is testing the waters, and if he could get away with it, he would. His whole life, he's been cheating people in business deals. He's been finding loopholes. This is not an honest guy, and he doesn't make us look good on the world stage. Foreign leaders, I think it was at the G8 summit, they were laughing at Trump behind his back. Justin Trudeau and Emmanuel Macron, Boris Johnson, they were literally, like, they had mics on them and they were laughing at Trump behind his back. Trump makes us look like a clown on the world stage. And so, honestly, even if you're moderate, even if you don't love Biden, like, just vote for him.